coaching and mentoring. What's the difference? Coming up next on ProjectSkillsMentor.com. Did you know that a recent study said that 48% of staff and employees are directly inspired by their managers to do better at work? That's amazing. Managers, your job is to increase your toolkit to include coaching and mentoring. So I'm going to take you through what these two things are, how they differ, and how you can use them. Here I show you a little XY diagram to kind of highlight those points. And let me break it down for you now. Mentoring is inspiring others to build goals and the discipline to create a roadmap to achieve them. So what does mentoring do? It builds confidence to grow. Coaching motivates others to build skills right now for the job they have today to be more efficient, effective, and knowledgeable and capable. So coaching builds confidence to act. You know, Home Depot's CEO said it great. They're a retailer in America. He said, he believes that unless people are coached, they will never reach their maximum potential. So coaching is critically important. Now, how does coaching differ from training? Training is a systematic, sustainable way of communicating information to someone, teaching them how to do something. That's not what we're talking about with coaching. Coaching is in the moment, point in time, knowledge sharing, but of a certain kind. And I'll get into that in just a minute. So how does mentoring work? Well, there are three key aspects. One, it's long-term. Two, it supports without judging. This is someone else's dream, not yours. Three, it's an outside-in view. You are not vested in the long-term outcome of this. Of course, you want your mentoree to do well and attain their goals, but it doesn't directly impact your job. Now, some people might say, well, mentoring is obviously an outside thing. It's not something I do for my employees, but I don't agree. Sometimes your staff need help with their growth. They aren't in the right job, they want to move on to a different department or even a different company. And I've always considered it my job to maximize everyone's potential no matter where they are. So in mentoring, I'm helping them figure out what they want to do and where their dream is. And if that can happen inside my team, great. If they need to move to a different department or even another company, that's also good because they're fulfilling their dream, they're maximizing their potential. And what that does for me is it gives me a great sense of reward. But there's something else. Mentorship and having people actually move on to other areas increases your network. People who are loyal to you, understand your goals and your way of operating, and then can either be future customers, future suppliers, or future colleagues. So this is important. Mentoring can be a toolkit for a manager today. In my mentoring process, I give you a free downloadable that takes you through the process of building your mentor-mentee relationship and the roadmap to get to where that mentee wants to go. If you want to know more about mentorship, check that link out later. But for now, I'm going to give you the top 3 tips. One is building a clear understanding of where they are today, their roles, capabilities, responsibilities, and how they see themselves in that role. Next, take a look at where they want to go. And as part of the mentee's job, get them to stretch a little bit if you think they need to. Or be more realistic about where they are today so that their goal is smart, specific, actionable, and achievable. And ultimately, you want to help your mentee. So support them by reviewing documentation they're asking for, going through a process they need to build, help them achieve the dream in a way that's practical for you and for them. It's important to note that mentees own their own dream, their goals, and therefore their roadmap. So it's really not up to you to tell them when and how to achieve those dreams. You're only there to help be a sounding board to get there. Now let's talk about coaching and how that's different. Coaching happens on the job, for that job, in the moment. It's meant to solve a problem or address an issue. For instance, someone might say, how do I prioritize my work today? How do I handle this new complex thing that I know about but haven't ever done before? Or maybe I've got a customer service problem. What's the right way to escalate that through the company? All of those can be coaching moments. The key aspects of coaching? Well, one, it focuses on the short term, unlike mentoring, which is long term. It also supports and judges. Where mentoring doesn't judge, it's their dream. Coaching is happening inside the team, inside the role. So getting an answer that actually fits the situation, but also does so in a way that the team understands and is good for the company, is important. People can't build their own dreams. They need to follow procedures. But let people have a little leeway. The more that they can answer a question or solve a problem in a way that's natural to them, the better they'll feel empowered to do it, and the outcome is likely to be. And lastly, it's an inside view. The manager or lead will actually understand the thing that's being discussed very likely, and therefore might have some value-add information. Again, you're not solving the problem, you're just sharing some information that person might need or talking it through with them. So it's a dialogue, a conversation, but helping the other person stay in the driver's seat to manage their own issues. So if you're not coaching today, how do you get started? First of all, say it out loud. Discuss the process. Let people know that you are coaching and that coaching is cool. People can ask questions and you're going to ask them what the options are. Also, talk through the process about how coaching works and when people can expect to have that kind of a conversation with you. And also, understand if you need a checkpoint. So we talk about the problem, you come up with a solution, and then let's talk about it at the end of the day to see if that thing resolved itself. If not, have another conversation and move the solution along. If you're not coaching right now and you want to get started with an intact team, a good way to do it is like you would do a project or an event. Do a kickoff. Talk about how coaching's helped you, how you'd like it to help them, the way of working you're thinking of, and also ask them their way of working. What would work best for them? A morning coaching session, ad hoc, or something else? Let them be part of the orchestration. They're more likely to embrace the idea. Also, make sure that they understand coaching is not being the manager or the boss. We're not looking for a whole lot of little bosses to run around to tell people how to do their jobs. Coaching is a moment of sharing information so that that person can own their own outcome. And ultimately, like with mentoring, the coachee owns their own action. They've got to execute what's been agreed. And they need to know that. But there's another thing. Because you're in the team, you have a vested interest. So make sure that they're doing so in a way consistent with the organization and your team. So these are two different ways you can help people reach their full potential: coaching and mentoring. Mentoring is about long-term, coaching short-term. Mentoring, growing goals. Coaching, growing skills. Mentoring is about inspiring people to go beyond. And mentoring is about motivating people to do their very best in the job they're in today. I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Thanks everybody for joining. Have a nice day.